Hey everyone, welcome to Whispers of Turkish Stars. All the details are in our video. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and share so you don't miss any of our updates. Thank you for being here. Tonight, the spotlight turns to successful actor Urkin Meriç, whose personal life has quietly simmered beneath the surface for months, only to boil over after a set of unexpected photos swept across social media. The images showed his former partner, the radiant and much-loved Hazal Subaşı, strolling hand-in-hand with a new man at a late-night gathering, their closeness undeniable. For a couple who once preferred to keep their private world gently guarded, that single moment felt like a crack of thunder cutting through a sky they had once shared. Insiders say the first time Urkin saw those photos, he froze. He had been on a short break between scenes, tucked away from the lights, scrolling absent-mindedly. Then came the image, Hazal leaning in, fingers intertwined with someone else's, eyes glowing with that familiar calm that once melted his defenses. Witnesses whisper that Urkin's expression changed in an instant, and in a rare loss of composure, he tossed his phone onto a nearby chair with more force than he intended. He reportedly said to the friend who tried to steady him, "I didn't see this coming. It hit me harder than I thought." Those close to him insist it wasn't simple jealousy. It was the echo of a bond that never fully loosened. During their time together, Urkin and Hazal were known for standing shoulder to shoulder, cheering each other on through career milestones and exhaustion, late-night rehearsals, and early call times. Even after their quiet parting, they kept a respectful distance without cutting the last thread of connection. There were holidays when they sent polite wishes, professional congratulations shared without fanfare, and the occasional check-in that didn't need to be announced to the world. That is why, say friends, the photos landed like a punch he didn't see coming. The couple's breakup had been handled with a grace that impressed even those who thrive on scandal. It happened gradually, over weeks when schedules stretched like taut strings and whispers on set grew heavy. Both were busy, both ambitious, and while that dynamic once bound them together, it slowly carved out space between them. They chose silence rather than spectacle, and the public responded in kind. The fans mourned the end of a dream pairing but admired the respect with which they closed the chapter. Until now, the book had stayed shut. The new images tore that calm wide open. On social media, the reaction unfolded within minutes. Some commented, "Urkin still hasn't moved on, reading grief in the stillness of his recent public appearances." Others were firm, saying, "Everyone deserves to move forward, respect both of them." The debate burned hot, but Hazal herself did not fan the flames. She has not commented, not even a single line, though it's no secret she knows exactly what was posted and how it reverberated through their circles. According to those in her orbit, she is at peace, allowing happiness to bloom in its own time. And despite hearing whispers of Urkin's response, she has chosen not to speak, preserving the boundary she built around her personal life. Meanwhile, Urkin has tried to keep his head down. Between long days on set and long nights alone, he has reportedly struggled to maintain the easy composure that always made him so steady in front of the camera. There was one day, one scene in particular, when the director called cut not once but 3 times as he watched Urkin drift away mid-take, mind clearly elsewhere. Those present say he retreated to a corner of the set and sat in silence, eyes on the floor, breathing deep until he regained his footing. Since then, he has leaned into the safety of his family and kept a careful distance from social media, resisting the pull of the comments that alternate between sympathy, judgment, and relentless curiosity. To understand the weight of this moment, you have to remember how their story began. It started with work, 2 professionals meeting on a project that demanded trust and long hours. The chemistry that audiences saw was not a trick of lighting. It was patience and humor in 2 people who learned each other's rhythms between takes. Colleagues remember how effortlessly they fell into step, how their banter felt like an unscripted melody. It didn't take long for a friendship to turn into something deeper, and soon their private lives glowed softly beneath the protective cover of discretion. But the same intensity that brings people together can pull at the seams. As projects multiplied and opportunities expanded, the time they once gave each other was divided by obligations. The couple kept the strain to themselves, never inviting the public into their disagreements, never allowing tension to be weaponized. When the breakup came, it was described by insiders as a respectful farewell, no shouting, no sudden unfollows, no dramatic posts. Just two people choosing separate paths without erasing what came before. This is why the party photos meant more than a tabloid headline. It wasn't just a picture of Hazal holding someone's hand, it was the image of a door closing with a gentle but final click. Sources claim that when Urkin saw the photos again later that day, someone had pulled them up during a wardrobe adjustment. His face tightened. A crew member says he muttered, "I never thought it would look like that. It's too much to take in right now." The set grew quiet, and for a short while, everything stopped. The lights dimmed, the room thinned out, and they gave him space. If you ask those who know him well, they'll tell you this reaction wasn't only about loss. It was about remembering. The shared rides to set before sunrise. The way she once squeezed his hand when the nerves got loud. The steadying presence he offered when she felt the pressure of 1,000 eyes on a red carpet. Even after the breakup, there were traces of who they had been, little signals only they could read. That lingering thread made the sight of her with someone new feel like a page turning when he had not yet finished reading the last paragraph. As for Hazal, she has been described as serene and determined. Friends say she respects the past and is grateful for what it gave her, but she has no desire to relive it in public. Regarding the uproar around Urkin's response, she is said to have confided to a trusted friend, "We're walking in different directions now," and left it at that. Those words, simple as they are, carry the quiet resolve that has defined her approach from the beginning. The fan base remains divided, but not hostile. One side urges patience and empathy for Urkin, insisting that feelings do not vanish on command. The other side insists that letting go is an act of kindness. To oneself and to the person who has chosen a new path. It is a rare moment when the digital chorus doesn't choose a villain. Instead, it watches two people navigate a once-in-a-lifetime connection that now belongs to yesterday. In the days since the photos surfaced, Urkin has reportedly adjusted his routine. He's returned to familiar rituals, family breakfasts, a late-night drive with music low, keeping his hands busy with simple tasks when the mind wanders too far. On set, he's professional, but the crew has noticed he no longer lingers in the hallway when his scenes wrap. He heads home, closes the door, and tries to leave the noise outside. And perhaps that's the heart of it, noise. The same public gaze that once celebrated their chemistry now scrutinizes their separate choices. Yet both seem to be choosing dignity. Hazal has not flaunted anything, she does not taunt the past. She walks forward with measured steps. Urkin, though shaken, has not lashed out, has not tried to rewrite history. He admits, at least to friends, that it hurts. But he also admits that it is not anyone's fault. There's a lesson here that even those far from the spotlight can understand. Sometimes endings are clean, and sometimes they leave a residue. You can honor what was and still allow what is to exist. The truth is that their story was never just a fling made for cameras. It was built on real companionship, the kind that doesn't disappear when a headline changes. That is why this moment has resonated so deeply and why it has been so hard for him to shake. Of course, the rumors keep swirling. Some say he still checks on her from time to time through mutual acquaintances, others claim he has sworn off sending any messages at all. There are whispers that he considered a public statement and then decided against it, not wanting to stir more speculation or prompt a response from her. If that is true, it would be in line with how they handled the beginning and the end of their relationship, quietly, with restraint. And what about the future? The industry will keep moving, new roles will come, and the narrative will shift again. Urkin will find his footing, as he always does, and the intensity of this week will fade into a softer recollection. As for Hazal, those close to her say she is cautious but content, tasting happiness in small, private sips. She is not chasing validation from the crowd, she is simply living. Still, there are moments that catch in the throat, like the anecdote of a late afternoon on set when Urkin paused before a scene that mirrored a tender conversation he and Hazal once shared in real life. Someone asked if he was ready. He nodded, closed his eyes, and delivered the lines in a voice steady but edged with something deeper. When the director called cut, he didn't speak for a while. He didn't need to. Everyone had heard it. If you followed their journey from the start, you know none of this is about drama for drama's sake. It's about two people who found each other in the synthetic glow of set lights and built something real in the shadows behind them. They didn't know anyone a public blow-by-blow then, and they don't now. What we have are glimpses and guesses, the soft rumble of second-hand accounts, and a pair of photographs that landed with the force of a memory refusing to be archived. And so, as the conversation rolls on, one message rises above the rest: respect. Respect for the love that once was, for the restraint on display now, for the courage it takes to face the world when your private hurt is trending. Every story has chapters that hurt to read. But chapters end, and the book goes on. This is where we leave it for tonight. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to Whispers of Turkish Stars and share it with friends who follow Urkin, Meriç and Hazal Subaşı. We'll keep listening, watching, and bringing you the truth with care. Until next time, take good care and stay tuned to Whispers of Turkish Stars.